And we are live here on Plus One EXP's Roll for Content channel. My name is Tony Vicenda. I'm Chief Alchemist here at Plus One EXP, and hopefully you can hear me. Theoretically, audio is working, though my back end won't show me that it is. We are here again this Saturday morning, playing another great indie RPG here at Plus One EXP. Our hope, our desire is to help amazing designers find great players who love their game, and amazing players find great designers whose games they can love. The most fun way we do that is sitting down with those designers to play their games. Today is no different. We have Christopher with us, the creator of Cottages and Cerberus. Why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and tell us a little bit about the game we're about to play.
Hello, hello, hello. I am Chris Pellick. I am a Chicagoland native, all-around nerd, extraordinaire. Been making games since I was like 12. Was not just content with playing them. And so Cottages and Cerberus, it was basically started as a joke, and then it exploded. It's what if you take Animal Crossing and stuffed it into Monster Hunter? And then I designed it, and then I didn't stop designing it. And 300 pages later, here we are. The game uses a research system inspired by the spoon theory of mental health. We'll get into some of the specifics, but essentially it is both your health, but also your capacity. Sometimes things take a bit of extra spoon. So the game is supposed to be very easy to learn, but has a bit of like system mastery where character curation can get a bit crunchy. If you want, it doesn't have to be.
Awesome. Well, I am excited to play. Let's meet some of the other folks we are playing with. By the way, if you want to check out this game, follow the upcoming Kickstarter, head on over to ttrpg.link/cottageks. Or there's a link in the description to the game's website as well. So, which you can also link to the Kickstarter there. In the meantime, though, let's kick it over to my ride or die for Gen Con specifically. We've got Richard Ruane. Richard, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, and where they can find you online?
Just for the record, just in case you've heard the stories from Tony, it can't be backseat driving if I'm riding shotgun.
It's true.
Yeah. And I'm Richard Ruane. I get to ride for the last couple of years to Gen Con with Tony Vicinda, which means I also get to help with load in. And I'm probably the only person who's ever excited to really help with load in. Because it's just a part of behind the scenes at cons that I've never gotten to see before. Load out, less exciting.
Yeah, you were like, I'm gonna go help Diogo with something real quick. I'll see you later.
Diogo and I have found some beers and we need to finish these. We've got a real tight schedule. Yeah. But I am the creator of Moonlight and Roseville Beach and Sherwood and Barrow Keep, and I am really excited to be here today to check this game out. So
awesome. Excited to have you with us always. And then we've got down below that Quinn. Quinn, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, where folks can find you online?
Yeah. Hey, I'm Quinn. I make games, and every once in a while I even publish them. If you go to my itch at 200proof.itch.io, you're going to find Travel Not Advised, which is my isolation horror game. And then you're going to find Any Percent, which is my video game speedrunning game that runs on tarot cards. Both of those, pretty good, if I do say so myself. Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I am excited to play with both of y'all. Though I've played with Richard and Quinn before, we always use safety tools on the channel because we're always playing different systems. We're always playing with different folks, and we always want everybody to feel comfortable anytime we sit down at a table, no matter how familiar we are with each other. The standard tools that we use here on the channel are lines, veils, the X card, and the open door policy. Lines are things that may happen in the world of our game, but they don't happen while we're playing it. They are things that are firmly off limits. Veils are things that may happen in the play of the game, but we only mention them briefly and fade to black, move forward in time, or only approach them within a certain context, basically touching on them lightly, then moving forward. The X card is the ability for anybody to say or type X to pause the game, identify what the issue is. They don't have to explain why they don't like it. They just have to say, I don't like this. We'll pull that content out and we'll move forward in a different direction. We may update our lines and veils when we do that also too. The open door policy is just a way to say that we are real people who have real people needs. If you're a real person, you should take care of yourself, and we will also. So if we need to talk to somebody off screen, get up, take a break, move away, eat, drink, any of those things, we will, because we need to. So with that said, we have a strong line against sexual violence and sexual coercion. Does anybody else have any other lines or veils they want to add for our game?
If ever there was a game that was likely to avoid most people's lines or veils.
Yeah. I think that one that we know tonally is going to come up in this is harm to animals, but monstrous animals.
Yeah. And even then, Chris has. I was reading through the book a bit. Chris has several different adjustments you can make to avoid that, even, which is super great.
There's our options. If you do want, you can have a very monster hunter kill the monster, harvest the parts. You could also just hit it a bit, it runs away, and it drops loot. Yeah. Or you could also just try to solve problems without violence.
So you can take the problem solving, you take the Pokemon approach or the Monster Hunter approach, either way. And so whatever is most comfortable for you. Awesome. Well, with that said, Chris, I'm going to hand things over to you to kind of get us running and playing.
All right. Okay. So like with most games, the first thing that we do is curate characters. We already have characters curated in the book. So you have basically 3 ways to start with making a character. You can grab one of the pre-gens, you can choose a cozy carling, and that would kind of suggest a lot of your options, or you can just go and pick all of your calm scores instead of strength, dexterity, etc. We have calm, charm, alchemy, lore, and muscle. Then you pick 3 abilities, a magic item or pet, and then you pick a vibe. Your vibe is how you regain spoons. But for our case, we have characters are all good to go. So can we start introducing characters? Let's start with Tony.
Yeah, so I am playing as Barnabas Scarce. I don't think I told you all this. I'm going to take the Shadow Saint cozy calling.
Oh, very cozy. I love it.
Yeah. The Shadow Saint is a mysterious and enigmatic class feared by many, but respected by those who understand the power of shadows. Shadow Saints are masters of darkness, able to manipulate shadows and illusions to deceive their enemies and outmaneuver their foes. Shadow Saints are often loners, preferring to work in the shadows and keep their true motivations hidden from others. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I've apparently made a pact with some dark being to gain my powers, but I'm not inherently evil. And the pact should not be taken lightly. So I got to put a little bit more thought into that. Maybe we can unveil that as we play, if it becomes important. But anything else we need to know about me?
Yes. So for Barnabas, what was the last name?
Scarce.
Scarce. All right. Got to keep all of these names written down. Appearance. There's no species, ancestry, race, whatever you want to call it. So you can kind of be whatever you imagine.
Yeah. Barnabas is one of those folks who is constantly standing in a dark corner or in the shade of a tree. You can generally make out that they have a long cloak with one of those types of collars that comes up unreasonably high, covering the lower half of their face. Their eyebrows are kind of shaved down to 2 dots, and they have kind of dark black in black eyes with a shock of white hair on top.
Excellent. All right, let's go to Richard. You're next on my screen.
All right. I'm Clem. Just Clem. I am the Titan Knight. And uses he, him pronouns. And as a Titan Knight, pretty intense and brutal when attacking. But really, because the Titan Knight tends to grow every now and then in ways that, like, can make, can be up to 100 feet tall, I think it says. And then so Clem is actually a pretty scrawny guy, and does not actually own any clothes that correctly fit him. And also, when shrinking back down, he's always a couple of half feet off in either direction. Session to session, he may be 5'9" or 5'11" or 5'7". So that's Clem, the Titan Knight.
Last but not least would be Sam.
Quinn. All right. I put the name in
Discord?
in the messages for the spelling. My character's name is Valent Irascible. And he's the Spell Knight. And I noticed in the book, like there's a lot of cat folk, and so I'm thinking this kind of like beefed up cat man, with kind of like with like some good armor and like a nice high collar. And I notice on my pre-gen character, they have a flower crown that gives me extra muscle, and so I just like the idea of this very large buff cat dude with a flower crown on. but they're all red flowers, blood red. They're intense.
All right.
You know.
I love it. Okay, excellent. So at this point in mini games, we would start playing, but we have one more thing we have to curate in this game. We have to curate the cottage. The ideal is that, at least for one shots, I tend to have everyone is basically you are roommates. You are sharing a cottage. A huge part of the game is you take care of the cottage, and as you do that, you get cozy points. Cozy points then will your cottage gets blessed by the moon goddess to be more cozy. So first we have to curate the cottage for one shots like this. The way I'll do that is I'll give you just the basic base. This is a classic cottage. It is 2 stories tall, shaped like a square. It has a chimney. The first floor has 1 bedroom. The other bedrooms are on the 2nd floor. Also on the first floor is the kitchen, dining room, a communal living space, and a half bath. There's an additional bathroom on the 2nd floor. The kitchen has a nook. The next thing we do is let's just go around popcorn style. So each person will say one thing that they want to be true about the cottage. Just add something to the cottage and then pop it to the next person, and we'll do that twice.
Great. I've got something to start.
Excellent.
Which is going to be Valence room. So on the 2nd floor, it is an addition off to the side that is standing on stilts. It's like a little loft. It's not as tall as the rest of the floor. It's kind of like a 2/3 thing so that he can just like pad in there and just like curl up.
Love it.
You know, got like a giant cat bed over in the corner and some books and some like little magic lights or whatever. You know, and you're like, and you look at that and you're like, this space is way too small for this large cat man. But he is a cat, so he likes the small spaces.
Cool. There is a door off the kitchen that leads down to an old root cellar filled with just like shelf after shelf of jars that all the labels have worn off of, and that you cannot tell what is inside them anymore. But my character spends a lot of time down there sampling things from these unknowable jars.
Okay. I'm getting some ideas already.
I think Clem has a bedroom, but the bed in it is really small. So he spends most of his time sleeping on the extra large couch in the very fluffy extra large couch in the living room. That may also have to like double up as like the bench for the dining room table.
I like that. That's classic.
I love it. Back to Valence for round 2.
Yeah. I think probably in the space. So like I said, the Valence room is on stilts, right? Off to the side of the house. It's on stilts. And I think in that stilt space beneath is a little like training ground, you know, where you got like a couple of dummies and a couple of targets, you know, and there's probably like a trapdoor with a rope ladder so that I can just like jump down and like go with the dummy a bit and then just climb back up.
The steps on the cottage, there's not a 3rd floor, but there is like as if it was going up to an attic space, but there is no attic. There's just a landing with another like half flight of stairs up, with an old telescope that looks out over like up through a moon window, like a skylight kind of elevated halfway up the wall, and surrounded by like beautiful stained glass, but clear, so that you can look out at the stars through the telescope, or with your eyes at night from the comfort of inside the cabin.
I think most of Clem's actual bedroom is dominated by incomplete craft projects that he has started, and sort of like then realize that he needs to complete something else before he starts it. There's a little bit of like weaponsmithing, and and then things that look like weapons, ornaments that look like weapons, little miniatures holding weapons. But then there's also a lot of like cactus potting in one corner. And it like in his head, it all fits together into one sort of mega craft project, but he keeps starting small portions of it. So that's his whole bedroom is just sort of benches and racks of like various stages of projects in process.
Excellent. Excellent. So we now have our cottage curated. So this is kind of, I'm going to open up to you. The way I usually do these is for one shot, you start in cozy mode. And in this part, you're just taking care of your cottage, maybe regular chores, just trying to make the place feel more homey, function better, etc. And then slowly we will either I'll suggest it is often something will come up in a narrative of there's a craft idea or project where you need a very specific part, and we'll find a monster that fits. I have no idea what monster we might have hunt later on. That's going to kind of be determined by the narrative.
I mean, I think I am. I'd always tell people I'm labeling these jars down here. And so, but if you notice, it's just a series of tasting notes. Like I never actually say what's in the jar. It's just like, hey, like heavy on umami, 4.5 stars, right? And so like I'm just ranking these jars down in the root cellar, and making kind of tasting notes. But there's a lot of like earthy, like tart, dank, like it seems like everything has kind of a similar flavor in the way I describe it, but the ordering of the words is pretty different every single time.
I think what probably, like, if we're doing chores, I can only imagine that it has to be like at least a once weekly thing that Valent has to get all of like the fur out of his bedroom. Because like he's got a shed in there and it's a small space, so he's got to like attack it with like a brush or with static or whatever and just try and clean it out.
Okay, I think this would be a fantastic face check. It would be easy. So let's use so checks. The way checks are worked is you use D6s. We'll decide what calm attributes you are using. In this case, I think lore, which is knowledge and problem solving, would be right. And then I'll set the target number. You will roll your dice and then count how many numbers meet or beat the target.
Okay, great.
So I'm going to say target number 2. Should be pretty easy.
Yeah, I did it.
Okay, how many did you get?
1. I mean, how many dice am I rolling?
So yeah, let's go over the actual mechanics. So the target is 2, which means you need, is that the number you're trying to roll over?
Yes, so you need, what is your lore score?
1.
Okay, so you got 1 over. So that means you got 1 at or above the target number. That actually means you fail unless you can, if you get only 1, you need 3 at or above the target number to actually succeed. You can turn a failure into success if you spend 1 spoon.
Now, okay, hold on. Wait, so I needed 3 successes?
Yes.
Right. So
How would
essentially,
I get that?
you could not have succeeded by yourself without
I
spending
Yes.
six. What we're saying is, in order to do this task, you have to exert emotional energy or spend spoons in order to succeed every week when you do this. This is maybe why it's only a once a week thing that you do.
Or you could
Indeed.
always get someone to help you.
Correct.
No, Valent is too proud. He will use a spoon.
All right.
Let's go over it real quick for anybody watching. So we established the target number, which in this case was 2, right? Then it was your lore skill, and it's a dice pool system. So it's D6 times whatever number you have in that, which for Quinn was 1. So you rolled 1 dice. You needed 3 successes, which 3 dice 2 or over in order to succeed. You could only get 1 of those, which you did get, meaning you do have to spend a spoon to succeed.
Gotcha.
Perfect. Does that make sense?
Yep. Down to 9 spoons.
All right. What about Clem?
I think Clem's task this week is to mow the lawn outside the cottage. And, you know, so he's using a scythe to handle the lawn mowing duties instead of anything that would, you know, be practical. Because then he can bundle all the mowed grass and make it into like little miniature bundles of wheat for all the minis to carry around. So he's multitasking. He's got an ulterior motive for like mowing the lawn with a scythe. He's just standing outside, sort of like going at the lawn with a scythe. It is really uneven. It is really profoundly uneven, but he's working away.
Well, let's see how uneven it actually is. But that's going to be another check. This time we're going to use your muscle. So what is your muscle?
4.
So you will roll 4 dice. I think this might be this requires a bit of effort. So I'm going to set the target number to 3.
Okay. And that's 3 or higher.
Yep. So you count how many. So roll 4 dice.
Yep. There are 3 successes there. Or
Okay.
actually 4 successes, because all 4 of them are 3 or higher.
All right. So 3 successes is a success. You at no cost. You just do it without really having to expend extra physical or mental effort. With 4, that means it's a super success. With a super success, I'm gonna say this is maybe the most even the grass has ever been. It is smooth, even with a scythe.
Nice. All right. Yeah.
And also, I am keeping track of cozy points as we do that. And the super successes get more cozy points.
Gotcha.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, now that the lawn is nice and smooth, it's time to I think it's time to clean out the wading pool.
Okay.
I had an idea for something that we could add to the cottage.
Okay, shoot.
So we have the dinner table, and then the couch is the bench for the dinner table.
Yeah.
Well, as someone who grew up in a family where dinner time meant TV time, I feel the combination of couch and dinner table demands entertainment. So, I don't know what the setting is. I don't know if there's, because what I'm thinking is, if we maybe get what we need to make some kind of crystal ball, we can tune into the magic TV.
Can I make a pitch?
Pitch.
Go right ahead.
So shadow magic is my forte. What if we had a light that sat behind us and projected against animated shadow puppets on the far wall on the other side of the table that I could set up and animate for us that would tune into magic happening in other places. So the shadow puppets will change and reshape themselves to represent the actual reality of the world.
That's
and we
great.
can watch it. or is it? Or do we just think it's reality, but it's merely a shadow of what's actually happening?
I mean, I imagine it's like any TV. You can
I'm
change
sure.
the channel.
It's a
There's
reflection.
reality. There's reality TV. There's yeah. Oh, that's fun. I like that a lot.
All right, so I'm going to hook up a shadow box that projects across the room so we can watch. Shows during or after dinner.
Okay. So I'm going to say this is probably a alchemy check.
Sounds good.
So what is your alchemy?
Alchemy is 4.
All right. I'm gonna say I'm gonna actually. This sounds a bit difficult, so I'm going to actually set the target number to 4.
Okay. Are we all working together on this project? Is anyone helping me with it?
I have some magic of my own, so it would make sense for me to help out.
Cool. So if I have a friend helping me, is that an extra die? What are the things that affect die rolls?
Let's see, help a friend. Describe how you aid a friend. Make a charm check.
Yep.
Okay.
Because it's helping a friend.
Yep.
Right. That's true.
It's-
Okay. I have my target number is 2, and I have charm 2. That's boxcars.
Okay. Yeah. I'll say for that, I'll definitely would be like, yeah, you get that bonus dice.
Okay. We will roll some dice then. And what's the target number for this?
4.
It's a 6, a 3, a 5, and another 4. All right, 4. 6, 3, 5, 4.
You succeed. So you use them. You use your magic. I mean, I think you probably are pretty adept at the use of shadows. So you get everything up, and then you have a totally not TV set up for entertainment during dinner time.
Nice.
I usually this system use D6s, but does anyone have a D100 easily accessible?
I do.
Yep.
Okay, this is for something not super system related, just random events.
Tony, you still got that fun little roller contraption?
I do, yeah. My digital machine, which lets me have all the things. I rolled a 28.
Okay. All right. You hear a knocking at your door.
I
don't go get it.
I also do not get
it. From the backyard, I yell, "Keep knocking, they're home."
Damn it.
I go down to the root cellar.
I've
got something I have to take care of. I'll see you in a little bit.
All right. I guess I have no choice. I will uncurl. I will uncurl from my afternoon nap and head downstairs and answer the door.
All right. In front of the door is a small gremlin. They are like 3'5", pink skin. He has a large black mustache. It is Tom, the local baker. Bonjour. I am hoping you could possibly help me out.
With what?
My oven broke. I know some of you are both good with your hands and magic. If I'm not able to fix the oven, all of the yeast I'm planning to use for my bread will go bad.
Yeast. Well, I guess that's a little serious. And I guess I'll turn around and I'll call to you guys. Oi! There's a problem with the yeast. And I just expect you guys better care about the yeast. Little town like this, yeast is a big deal.
This is basically like the main source of bread
a
for
yeast,
the
a
little
yeast
village.
shortage means no bread for anybody.
Yep.
I'm immediately interested in resolving the yeast shortage issue. I come up and I look at our, like my eyes scan over in the kitchen to our bread container, and we see a cut through. The audience sees a cut through where we can see what's inside, and there's only a quarter of a loaf left of bread in there. So we're going to be pretty hard up for bread in pretty short order.
I immediately come in and go like, but we don't make our own bread. We don't need any yeast.
Well, that's sort of
We
the
buy from the
problem.
baker.
That's exactly it. You've nailed it in one, which is that we don't have any of our own yeast, and this poor fellow over here, he's got a problem with this.
All right. And what are you going to do about it?
I think. Are you coming to us for help?
Yes.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
I
I don't have any yeast.
No, it's not. Okay, so I suppose I kind of jumped. It's kind of the yeast is the secondary problem. The primary problem is the oven. The oven's a little borked, as I understand it.
Oh.
I don't have an extra oven either.
What seems to be the problem with the oven?
Chris?
All right, if you ask the baker, it does not turn on. You just turn on the knob, and then you just start smelling gas, and you hear the little but it never actually goes.
Nope. Yep. That sounds pretty broken.
Did you turn it off before you left? Because if you leave it running with gas coming out, it can get bad.
Yes, I did do.
Okay.
It is off. That would be very terrible. There would definitely be no bread for a while if I did not.
All right. So what we need to do is build a new wood fire oven in the yard, right? I immediately start making sketches for the new wood fired oven.
Well, I imagine if they've got the gas but it's not turning on, well, something's wrong with the pilot light.
So what we need is a new pilot light, and I immediately start sketching out
a diagram for pilot light.
I expect it. Here's my pitch here, because I am a little anxious to go on an adventure. I think I think it would be fun if the pilot light required a little hunt, a little monster hunt. It's like there's a fire monster of some kind, and that is what you get the pilot light from. Or what if the pilot light not working? What if the salamander escaped?
What if it's just fireflies that are pilot light because they actually get fire?
Oh, is that because they're fireflies? That's why we call it a pilot light, right?
Yeah.
Wow. That's
the fire
really
flies.
Good.
Right.
You can't fly without a pilot.
Pilot light. Wow, we're all over this.
New. Yeah, we should go check out that pilot light. See sort of what we need to do to get it lit again. Or a new pilot light.
I agree. I think you guys should probably check that oven first. And so the baker will take you to his shop. And who wants to inspect the oven? At least who wants to attempt to inspect the oven?
Oh, I am immediately like, all right, I'll lift the oven and somebody crawl underneath.
Got it.
Good.
I immediately walk over and try to lift the oven.
Lift.
All right, make me a
look under. We can get a better look underneath the oven.
Make me a muscle check. Target number will be 4. Ovens are pretty heavy.
Also pretty easy to only one success.
Okay, so that means if you want to lift the oven, you have to spend 1 spoon.
All right, I'm gonna spend a spoon.
Also, what is y'all's vibe, by the way?
I regain a spoon whenever I deal damage.
Whenever you deal damage?
Oh, hold on, there's a specific vibe. My vibe is in your face. I can be a bit aggressive, regain 1 spoon each time I deal damage.
Cool. We got some,
What about you, Vi?
I took snacker. So
Great.
I just got to eat things. That's why I was immediately concerned about the bread issue.
Oh, I love it.
So I'm just a snacky shadow boy.
All right, somebody check out the underside of the oven and see what's wrong.
Yeah, I slide underneath the oven.
Okay, make me a lower check. The target number will be 3.
I have 3 successes.
Perfect. Couple things seem to be the issue. So this seemed to have been a bunch of the connectors just are broken. A bunch of like the actual supports that keep the oven stable seems to be broken. What's broken, however, this doesn't seem to be a normal oven. This seems to be a magical oven. And it seems that the magical core went kapoof. And it's no longer working, and it also damaged the oven in the process. You can right now, you have the materials to fix the oven base, but you're gonna have to get something special. You're gonna have to replace the magic core outright.
Yeah, I pull the magic core out, and I scurry out from underneath the oven, and I let Clem know that he can put it down, and I explained to him the structural damage because I think he probably is the most interested and inclined to fix that. While I kind of take a look at the magic core and think about where we might be able to find something to replace it. So I'll kind of hold it up. What does it look like?
It's just basically, it looks like a glowing ball of light that is gray. You would know it should not be gray. It should be red. It's solid, even though it's like a ball of light. You can still like grab it.
Okay.
It should normally be hot. It's not hot right now.
Well, I can see a problem right here.
Yeah.
Well, this is gray. It's supposed to be red.
Yeah, it's the wrong color. Classic magic core issue.
See this all the time.
This one should probably be red. Not always, but this one should be.
Clem, do you concur that this should be red?
I've got some red paint in my kit.
Yeah.
Well, that should probably.
I turn to the baker and I hold it out to them. I say, "When is the last time you had this thing serviced?"
Never.
Well, that's your problem right there.
I love the idea that like he says never, and all 3 of us are just like, oh no. I feel like we're on car talk.
If you just let this thing run off ambient mana, like it's gonna gunk up things horribly. Now
you've got to get the mana refresh at least once every 6 months.
Yeah. You got to,
or every 1,000 bakes, whichever comes first.
Especially every bad bake counts as 2. The damage that's underneath, did it look like something that would be caused by the core going out, or did it look like there is an external source of damage in addition to this core not being serviced properly over the course of the life of this appliance?
It looks like it was a power surge because the core went out.
Yeah.
Also, Richard, the whole painting the core, that made me really laugh. So I'm going to rearrange you a extra cozy coin. Cozy coins are everyone starts with 2. Cozy coins can be spent to after you make a roll, you can spend 1 cozy coin to gain fortune. Fortune means you take every dice that failed, re-roll it.
Oh, well, okay.
After you repaint after you throw some red paint on the core and it kind of seeps in and does, I'm assuming, absolutely nothing.
Absolutely
I
nothing.
shake it to try to get going again. Yeah, we're gonna have to replace this one.
Oh, I'm really excited because I've never replaced a magic core before.
Yeah, I mean, I know that they're constantly going out around the house, and I don't think anybody else has ever replaced a single one.
No, like we just replaced the whole device.
Yeah.
How many alchemists does it take to replace a magic core?
23.
Yeah.
So we where do magic cores come from? Are we going to home?
Well, expect
home
if you're in a big city, you can just rock down to the fantasy Walmart and grab one. But I think out here, probably we've got to figure it out ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anyone wants to figure out, I'll have a target number 2 lore check. The more successes you roll on that, the more options I'll give you for solving them.
I'm assuming I'm the one thinking about and how to do this, correct? Given what I know of our scores.
Yes, yeah. I have only 2 on lore, and I'm busy fixing the connections.
What's the target number?
2.
2. That's 4 successes.
Okay, so monsters tend to kind of just like essentially shed them. I was gonna say poop them out, but I was trying to get a more elegant way. So you're going to have to find a monster and hope you can shake a core out of it.
Cool.
And
every monster poops. It's fine. We can talk about it.
With a 4, there are 4. So there's different types of magic cores. The fire core, there would be 4 options, I think. Explodey Cat, the Rooster Dragon, the Ember, and the Chameleon Mental.
I relate.
And the Phoenix.
I
and the
relate
Phoenix.
all those very distinctive names to everybody, and then and the Phoenix. Is there a certain one of those that y'all think we should go try to find?
Read those again.
I'll also type up in the Discord. So there is the Explodey Cat, the Ember, the Chameleon Mental, the Phoenix.
I also like the bear.
And the Rooster Dragon.
Yeah, Ember immediately jumps out to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna go for the Ember. I mean, they just seem nicer than the Explodey Cats.
Easier to find, less likely to explode.
It's a good source. It's a good source for an oven.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Phoenix would probably be ideal if, like, you wanted the bakery to consume itself, and then be born every night.
Yeah.
But that seems like a lot of work.
The good news is you don't have to service those courses often because they're self-renewing.
Right.
Well, when it comes to making bread, what you really want is a consistent level of heat. You don't need the fire to be up high. You want it to be over the coals or the embers. So the ember is clearly
ember's perfect. Yeah, the Explodey Cat's great if you not need a quick, like if you want to flash fry something, Explodey Cats all day long.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna look for the ember.
All right. I tend to say monster knowledge of location, not too hard to find. There's been several embers set off about maybe in the forest about 1.5 hours, 2 hours away, depending on how quick you guys go.
Well, I know that they poop in the woods.
How do you know they poop in the woods?
Does a bear poop in the woods?
Does a bear poop in the woods? We should swing back by the cottage first. Use our last quarter of bread to make a picnic lunch, because if you want to catch an bear, you do need a picnic basket.
True. True. Very true.
All right.
Everyone knows that.
So we swing back by home and make a sandwich and make a picnic basket.
Oh wait, you make the picnic basket from scratch?
I thought you were going to make the picnic basket while I made the sandwiches. I thought that was the plan.
God, that'd be great, because I have all that, like, grass that I harvest morning.
Yeah.
And it should be dry.
And it's such an even length that I figure it's perfect for weaving.
Yeah. Right. Oh yeah. No. I'm gonna weave us a picnic basket.
All right. You don't need to roll. That would be trivial enough.
I go down and grab a jar out of the basement that says 3 out of 5 stars. Pretty good.
Okay.
Does everything in the basement have subtle notes of lavender and honey?
Not everything, but a lot of things.
All right. I actually have an idea here. So I think as you go down, if you go down alone,
I certainly do.
I think hearing maybe like emanating slowly, soft whisper from all of the jars is a voice of maybe your patron. Now, I'm not sure if it's coming exactly, but it's being projected. Is this like a paved cellar? Or is this like dirt underneath? This is up to you.
The sides are like stone reinforced with pretty basic mortar, but the floor is 100% ground.
I think it would be cool if maybe some of the roots underneath like kind of slither and rise, and then your patron gives you some advice. Make sure you have water. Stay hydrated.
Great.
Always a good thing for a patron to tell you. They're right.
What a great evil patron.
Yeah.
What a great dark lord to be like, don't forget to stay hydrated. That's a shirt later. The Dark Lord says, "Stay hydrated."
Yeah.
And I like I pour out some ferment on the ground as an offering to my Dark Lord, and then go back up and say, "Hey, we should bring some water with us." I just remembered, so make sure you fill up your water receptacles of choice. Cool.
Okay. Any other preparation?
No, Valen just takes a nap while he can.
All right.
Yeah, I'm definitely making the picnic basket, and whatever we need to do to carry as much water as we possibly can to stay hydrated. I should just bring the wading pool.
Yeah, just bring the whole pool.
I mean,
I cleaned it today.
Do you
you
want to
could
try to bring the
certainly
wading
attempt
pool?
something like that.
I mean, what has more water in it than the wading pool?
Oh, there's no way to know.
There's no way to know.
It's impossible.
Cool. So you're gonna try to pick up the wading pool?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna put it on the roof of the car and just bring it.
The
Cool.
car.
Yeah,
Whatever.
there can be cars. I explicitly states there's no assumed technology levels. If you say there are cars, we can have cars here.
Okay, so is everyone else here just thinking like 70s wood paneled station wagon? Is that just me?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I was definitely thinking a little bit more
Somebody's
Euro
would
style.
biodiesel station wagon.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had one of those when I was a teenager. Little Mercedes. Oh man.
It certainly got a rack on it though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, really. It looks like it's always ready for a beach trip.
All right, so we put the wading pool on there.
We take the surfboard off and we put the wading pool on there.
Yeah.
Who drives? That's my question.
Valent drives for sure.
And I got to know, what is it like for how tall is Clem right now?
I think Clem is having one of those 5'7" days.
Okay.
Okay. So he can fit in the car.
Yeah.
Oh, easily. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it'll be tight in the back seat, but probably not as bad as it is for anybody else.
Right. Cool.
Great. All right. We pile into the station wagon. We've got the pool on top of it, I guess. Let's ride.
Oh, I do forget at the last minute we see a dark, shadowy cat run out and jump into the car as we pull out, because that is my magical pet.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I love that. Tony, can you roll me another D100 for reasons?
Yep. Sorry, hold on. The D20 and D100 keys are reversed on my thing. That's a 16.
Okay, let's see. I got a few options here. Cool. You find you start getting to the forest. You kind of drive through the country a bit, and all of a sudden you start hearing shouting from near you guys in the cornfields.
Keep going.
Is there smoke?
Right.
There is no smoke.
Yeah. So if there's no smoke, there's no reason to stop.
I might
may need help with a craft.
I've got cat ears. I've got good hearing, so I'm just gonna pull over and just like roll the window down and like just like lean out the window and see if my cat ears can.
I immediately get out of the car and it's like, is someone out there who needs help?
You hear let's go a couple of things. Let's go with Valence. You hear, I, King Edward of the Scarecrows, then refute your claim to the Scarecrow king, throne. And then if you look out, you'll see a bunch of arguing scarecrows, about like 6 of them, just flailing about, like they're on the posts and they're just flailing about and yelling at each other.
Not again.
This just doesn't seem like our business.
I feel like there's a
Valent is
revolution.
Scottish. He knows to keep his head out of kingdom debates that don't involve him.
I feel like this happens every week in the fields.
Especially among the scarecrows. I feel like they have a profoundly unstable political system and should try democracy or something.
Yeah, they've got a new stuffed shirt, just trying to get their platform propped up.
And they're hardly going to be able to hurt each other at all, really.
Yeah.
I mean, except emotionally.
Yeah, it's true. And if you've ever seen a scarecrow cry, it's pretty horrible.
Look, they just seem to be doing their thing. I'm all for continuing the hunt.
I get back in the car.
Yeah.
Yes.
We checked. It's just the scarecrows. This is normal.
Just zoom right past it.
Back in drive.
I checked the water level in the wading pool while we, before we get back in. But it's just like reach over, make sure there's water in the wading. Like I'm really worried about it evaporating while we're on our way.
Some of it spilled out. Actually, I think it would be most fun. Valence, you're driving. I'm going to say that's most likely a lore check at this point, unless you're like, so that's just to lore check. You've driven before, so I'll keep it low. Lore check 2. This will determine how much water you lost.
Oh, sure. Okay. I gotta. Yeah.
Let me make a charm check to help you.
Yeah.
I'm horrible at charm. So how do you help a friend? Is it you roll charm to see if you help them?
Yeah, target number 2.
Oh, I will definitely make a charm check to see if I can help too.
Oh, you're far more invested in the water.
Yeah.
Why don't you make that charm check?
All right. 1 second. What's the difficulty on charm checks?
So to help a friend, it's 2. So pretty easy.
Oh, yeah, there's 2 successes there on the charm check to help.
Great. Okay, so I'll roll another die. Hilarious. All right, I have 2 3s.
Okay. I can say you basically, if you spend a spoon, you will have lost basically no water.
I'll spend a spoon.
Okay. You might have lost like a few drips. Nothing to be worried about. And you continue into the forest. It starts getting harder and harder to drive the deeper into the forest you get. Would you pull over, or are you just gunning it? Are you gonna drive?
Well, we don't want to scare the ember away, and the car is pretty loud. So I figure I find a good clearing and we park it there, and from here we try to figure it out on foot.
Okay. As you start going out, you all of a sudden hear a roar, and popping out is a ember.
Convenient. All right.
It has red. It seems to be a bit smaller. It has red molten embers fur, and then its claws and around its neck, it weirdly has a mane, and both of those are like combusting fire. On the top of its head, it has a golden crown with a red jewel.
So fun.
And we are going to go into combat. This one is actually a bit smaller, so I'm not going to do the full normal combat. Usually, we'll get to it. Usually, monsters have something to really specially do at the start of combat. This one doesn't really seem to have that, but it will use its one of its abilities called Fire Breath. It's just inhales and exhales this wreath of flames. Everyone is going to lose 3 spoons.
Ooh.
And
Anything
then
we can do about that, or
nope.
Okay.
Then we throw it over to you. There is no initiative. Everyone makes a turn, then the round ends. So you can choose what order you want. This is where lots of strategy comes from stacking the order in the best way.
I'm going to use Armor of Darkness. You shroud your friends in shadowy armor, spend 5 spoons. Each ally gains 2 armor, but you do not.
Woof. All right.
We gain what? I'm sorry?
2 armor.
2 armor.
2 armor.
Basically, damage reduction.
And we each start with 10 spoons. Is that right?
That is correct.
Yep. Although I'm down a good bit already. I'm gonna deal damage with a basic magic attack and activate Maelstrom, which turns it into a water spell. So that's gonna be an alchemy check.
Yep. So the target number is going to be its resistance. So it has a resist of 4.
Okay. All right. I got 2 4s, a 6, and a 2.
2 4, a 6. Okay. That will be a hit. So you do 1 damage, and then you do an additional damage because of the maelstrom, and then surprise, surprise, the fire bear is weak to water. You see kind of the flames start to hit her away, get damped out. It still has its red skin, but the flames are down for right now at least. And
Great.
that would have been an extra point of damage against this guy. Klim, I believe you are up.
I am going to seeing the water magic do especially well. I am going to take the wading pool, which I have balanced on my head, because I can't like continue to balance the wading pool on my head and draw my Titan weapon, which I have not decided what that is yet. So I'm just gonna like go, oh my gosh, oh my god, oh my gosh, and then hesitate for a minute, and then slide the wading pool over to the imbear, and then sort of like, hey, could you hold this, and then tip it over onto the imbear.
All right. I am going to have that be a muscle check. I'll use its hides as the difficulty, but I'll give you a bonus dice because of the circumstances. So
Okay.
make muscle check. Target number is going to be 4.
4, that's 2 successes plus the bonus die is 2 successes.
2 successes plus bonus dice. So I'm gonna say, will you spin the spoon? Otherwise, the bear will dodge. You might have tripped, spilled most of it out too early, or you can spin the spoon to succeed.
I am going to spin to succeed.
All right.
Dealing damage, so I get a spin back anyway. So
you dump the water, and then you just see steam starts just pouring out of this guy, and he starts scampering away like quickly. As he does that, you see he's starting to dry, putting off heat, and then a tiny spark falls off of him onto a dry leaf, and
Oh hell.
the forest starts getting set on fire. You could let the forest, you could go after this bear and let the forest go fully on fire, or you could try to quickly take care of the fire at a chance you might, if you don't do it quickly, you will lose track of the bear.
we could split up, can't we? Like one of us could go after the bear and the others could take care of the fire.
Yeah. Valent has a good bit of damage output, and I don't think there's much that he can do about the fire right now. So I figure Valent chases after the bear, and maybe one of you guys deals with the fire. Maybe shadows. Maybe shadows are good versus
shadows.
fire.
Classically good against light emitting fire. Sure, I'll stay back and deal with the fire.
I put a fire marshal's cap on your head as I run past following Valent.
Great.
Exactly what I was looking for.
Oh, you know what? That fire captain hat's gonna give you a bit of boost. The first attempt you do will give you an extra bonus dice on whatever you attempt. All right. Now we'll split up. So I'm going to use name Barnabas. Is that right?
Barnabas.
Barnabas. I missed the V. Barnabas. Have you ever played anything like Blades in the Dark, Fabula Ultima?
Yeah.
Okay, so the idea of clocks might be familiar to you.
Sure.
So this is going to be a clock. Let me pull up those rules. So you are basically in this case you want to get the fire out before it consumes the entire
Yeah.
forest.
Great.
Cool.
So I am going to set I'm going to set the clock to it will have a max of 6. So when the clock reaches 6, the fire consumes everything. I am going to start it at 3. What would you like to do?
And my goal is to get it to 0 or to 1.
0.
So I think what I and my cat Starbright start to do is we don't have water. We don't have an easy way to address this. The only easy way to deal with a fire in this setting really is to create a fire line. So we're actually going to be cutting down like dead brush and tossing it towards the fire to create an area that the fire cannot leap outside of. So that is our thing. So as part of that, I'm going to summon and be hovering right above 1 point or 1 spoon. A large a large axe made out of shadow. Like kind of, I pull it out of my cloak, and I start chopping at the brush nearby in order to create this fire line.
All right. I'll let you choose if you want to approach this via muscle or logic.
There is only logic at this point.
All right. Make me a lore check. I'll have the target numbers be 3.
All right. That's 1 success. 2 success, 2 successes.
Okay. You can spin the spoon. Might be getting a bit low on those.
I am. I pull out some I pull out a jar and eat/drink the slurry that's inside, and then I while spinning a spoon to do that in order to not spoon out.
And then you, because of snacker,
I gain
takes
1,
it
lose
out.
1, yeah.
Yeah.
And so
All right. What about your cat? What is your cat doing?
the same thing, but on a much smaller scale. While there's a lot of mewing and meowing, which translates at the bottom of the screen to like them telling other animals to get out of here, to run away. There's a fire and it's not safe.
All right. So
Oh wait, hold on. I did forget. I had a bonus die, didn't I?
you did.
It's
Let's
a 6,
see.
baby. I get that spoon back.
You get that spoon back. Excellent. What
and
is your
the cat is wearing the fire marshal hat 100% now canonically.
I love it. That is adorable. Do you have the name for a cat, or is it just the cat?
No, it's Starburst.
Oh, that is adorable.
Nice.
Starburst, what is your charm?
Starburst's charm, I will have to go look real quick. I think is a 2 because I think they have all 2 stats. But
Most of them have 2 stats. Some of them have bonuses.
One that's boosted. There are some pretty great pets here. Yes, it's 2.
I love pets. The Shadow Kitty. Every party that has chosen a pet has at least 1 Shadow Kitty.
Yeah. I'm also a big fan of the fact that there is both Shark Dog as well as just like a goat in here. Both.
Hell
options.
yeah.
The two ends of the spectrums.
Yeah.
All right. Can your Shadow Kitty make me a TN2 charm check to see how well he gets that message out?
I mean,
he
does get 2 successes. Does he have his own spoon pool, or does he use my spoon pool?
He has his own.
Is that his health? Is his spoons?
Yep.
Okay, yes. Then we will spend 1 spoon to get that over the 3 we need to be successful.
All right. Since you are, and then that would be essentially the end of this round.
Okay.
Since you are actually being pretty close to the fire, setting this up, I'm going to need you to make a muscle check, target number 3.
Well, that's 2 successes. But it says, which is as high as I can do in muscle. If I spin a spoon and go to 0, do I collapse?
So so you never did, but this is actually something new that we are doing. It's not in the layout. My awesome basically sensitivity reader Kit Roll she works with me, they works with me, and you stay up when you're at 0 spoons.
Okay.
You always have misfortune on your rolls when you are at 0 spoons. Misfortune is you take everything that's a seed and re-roll it. You also can't spin spoons, so you can still do stuff. It's just a bit harder, bit more likely you will fail.
Yeah, great. I'm very excited to see what my cat does over the next few scenes. I will go ahead and spin the 1 to make it a success. Then.
All right, that's good because you would have gotten set on fire if you failed.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
All right. Then so you're at 0 spoons. You can still do stuff. It's going to be very difficult.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
And those were both successes, so we've moved from 3 down to 1.
Yep.
So I just need one more good thing to happen.
Correct.
All right. Look, I'm looking across the fire at my cat. We look around. We look at the mud. We back the car up. Hop in the car. We back the car up and we just floor. We're gonna floor the wheels to spray mud over the remaining fire from all the water that's been spilled on the ground.
Oh, I love that. I think that's lower check probably again.
Yeah, that sounds great because I can succeed at that, even though I will now have to re-roll everything.
I'll have it target number 3, right in the middle.
Great. So I fully succeed, but now I have to re-roll everything to see what happens.
You just have to re-roll succeed twice, not too hard.
Yeah, I just have to. So I have 2 successes, no spoons. Can my cat? Can my cat help me?
Yeah, have your cats make a charm check to see if it boosts you. But first tell me how your cat helps.
I think I look back and I see Starburst in the fire marshal hat valiantly escorting a small marmot away from the flames. And their example inspires me. And they do. All right, it's going to come down to this dice roll and with succeed or fail. That's a 5.
Okay.
And so we do get 3 successes out of this.
And I don't know why I meant char. I meant to do mud just get sprayed. The fire stops roaring and all is clear.
Sweet.
All right. Let's go. Then do you take a break? Do you snack some?
Oh yeah, we're during the next scene we just see flashes over of us. We've broken out the picnic basket since that was, for naught. We've got some water out where it's me and 20 woodland creatures in Starburst passing around hot cocoa and small sandwiches to everybody whose homes have been destroyed by this fire.
All right.
Nice.
Excellent. So activate snacker, and then then I assume would you try to catch up, or are you like they're fine?
We'll pick a good narrative moment. At some
All
point,
right.
I will try to catch up.
Perfect. Then let's go with Valent and Clem. How are you trying to track this Ember? Are you actually tracking it, looking at its tracks? Not necessarily looking.
I mean,
at
it's setting a fire behind it.
Yes.
So
or
I
just
imagine
looking at me running. I'm basically saying lore or muscle. How do you want to approach?
Oh, muscle for sure. I've got the muscle for this.
Oh yeah. Just charging ahead,
Yeah,
not letting it get away.
I'm just just want to like keep up with it because it's not out of eyesight yet. I don't think. Because I took off pretty quick, so I just want to keep it in sight.
Cool. I'll keep this as a target number 3 muscle check for both of you.
Fuck. That went poorly.
Oh no! Remember, you have cozy coins.
How many
Everyone's
cozy
not
points do you
How many?
have?
Everyone starts with 2.
Everyone starts with 2. Okay.
So Richard's got 3. So cozy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna spend 1
Yeah, I'm gonna spend 1.
because,
Yeah, I'm gonna keep up with this thing.
and that was difficulty 3,
Yes.
4 successes.
All right.
Okay, difficulty 3. Oh wait, difficulty 3. Maybe I'm okay then. Yeah, I have 3 successes. I think I have a 3, a 4, and a 6, and a 2.
Yeah. So 3 successes.
Yeah.
You are good. You get up on this creature straight up, and then it scurries into a cave, and then boom, boom, boom. The bigger one walks out.
No.
So with 1 success and 1 super success, I will give you a surprise round, essentially. Free round to
Okay.
do anything you want.
Are there any magic cores in the cave already dislodged by chance?
Make a alchemy check. The cave is a bit dark, so I'm gonna set that to 4.
Can I get a bonus for being a cat?
You know what? Yes, you can. Good on you for asking too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I got 3 6s and 2 3s.
Okay. Yeah, there's definitely a core in there. There's also 3 smaller bears like the one you saw earlier, and an additional large bear also in that cave.
Okay.
All right.
Did that was my move for the surprise round?
You're just looking. I'll give that to you for free.
Okay, let's do a quick consult here, buddy. All we need is one of those cores and we're good to go. Is there a way for us to get in, get out without getting toasted?
To get in and out without getting toasted. I think I can be a distraction.
Okay, I've got a lot of muscle, so I can. If you can keep them occupied, I expect I can just be quick about it.
I draw forth my Titan weapon, and then I become 95.2 feet tall.
We see this because all of a sudden, while I'm talking to a chipmunk about how it's going to have to rebuild, or while Starburst is, we just see you pop up above the tree line in the distance, superimposed behind it, and Starburst and I look at each other and realize it's time to go.
And my Titan weapon is a giant back scratcher.
Oh, I love it.
Nice.
That's it, it also does not size correctly, and my Titan clothes are a little too tight on right now.
Your Titan clothes are Titan.
Yeah, they're tightened. Normally, because everything I wear is like way oversized for me. So yeah, and I'm standing there holding the back scratcher, and I try the whole signature line thing, which has not worked yet. But I was like, it's back scratching time.
Great.
And then I start to try to draw them away from the draw them away from the cave. And then I pop the big one with the back scratcher.
All right. That is make a muscle check. The target number is 3, and it looks like because you grew, you will have fortune on this roll.
And that just means I re-roll anything that doesn't succeed.
Yep.
All right. That is 4 successes.
That is a super success.
And then
Great.
I always do +1 damage when I use my
Yes.
Titan weapon.
Do +1. Super
Yep.
success is a additional +1.
Uh-huh.
Then I also believe that growth an additional +1.
1 second. I lost my correct window. All right, there we go. You gain fortune when you use muscle for checks while in this form. You also deal 1 extra point of damage with weapon attacks. So I have +2 on damage.
Okay.
My Titan weapon. So
Excellent. Excellent. You just swing down with the back scratcher. Maybe you got the back scratch a bit. Maybe he had the part that he could not reach. And
I think it's I got right behind his ear.
That probably actually felt really good while also not feeling great.
Right. And he's like, I want to fight, and then I
Great.
scratch his ear. Like, there's nothing says overly familiar like scratching somebody's ear.
All right, so now the combat starts for real. Monsters always have a ability called the opener that they use at the starts of combat before their turn, and they only use it at the beginning of combat. This one is going to let out a mighty roar. Both of you, Clem and Valence, you just set on fire. You have
man.
the burn condition. There's nothing on your turn. You can take a turn to set yourself off fire. But that would be your action to do so. Then that wasn't its turn. That was just the opener for its actual
Well,
turn.
I still haven't done my
that is correct. Rewind.
So Clem's thing worked, and it was meant to be a distraction. So I should take +1 on getting into dodge.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, and I'm rolling with muscle.
Yes. And you're going to try to sneak into the cave?
Yep. I mean, maybe not sneak so much because they know I'm here probably. Well, maybe not actually. I guess it is a sneak.
Your choice. I think either would work.
I think either would work. I think Valiant or Valent is too big. I think he's just way too big for the sneakiness. I think I'm just relying on speed.
All right. Make a let's make it target number. Let's make it target number 5. This is a bit tricky.
Yeah, I have 2 successes then.
All right. Billy spins the spoon.
Yep.
All right. You run very quick. You get into the cave without being noticed.
Great. Good.
You
Is
grab
it
the
too much
core.
to- Yeah, I grab a cord. Right. And then we're gonna figure out how to get back out
Yes.
next round. Yeah.
Yes.
Sounds good.
And then you get set on fire from the mighty roar.
Yes. Now don't forget, Clem, that both of us also still have armor.
Yes.
We do?
You have two. You have 2 shadow armor that I gave each of you.
How does armor work?
They're basically one-time damage reduction. So
Okay.
you will, next time you take damage, you reduce the armor instead of your spoons.
Okay.
It's basically temporary health.
Okay. Gotcha.
And you might be taking one of you might be taking some damage very soon. Let's see. The bear that you are engaged with, Clem, it is going to release a fire breath like straight on you. I think the fire probably only gets up to your knees, but you will lose 3 spoons.
So I just reduced the damage there
By 2.
but to
Yeah.
okay.
And then your armor breaks.
That was rude.
And then let's see. I do think the larger bear will release the fire breath in the cave as well. They're immune to fire. So, Valence, you will also lose 3 spoons.
No. Oh man. Okay, and I can spend, and I've got the 2 armor, so I lose 1 spoon.
Yep.
Okay. Great. I gotta get out of here.
I gotta get out.
I'm
of
so low.
this.
And now it is your guys' turns. Either of you can move.
Okay, I just gotta try and get back out. I need to get out.
All right. Make me that muscle check again. Same target number.
Same target number. Do I still have the bonus? I expect not.
Nope.
That would be target number 5, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, not a single success.
That means
Do you have one more cozy coin?
I do have a cozy coin.
I would spend it.
I'm spending it.
If you have no successes, you can't spend spoons to make it a success.
Yeah, cozy coin, and that lets me just make it a success, or do I get
Reroll every dice that failed. So reroll every dice.
Oh, that's great. Okay, that's 2 successes.
Okay, you can spend the spoon to.
I'm spending a spoon. Get me out of here.
You just you get wreathed in this fiery breath. Then you jump over. Maybe I think you probably jump over one of the youngins, one of the young bears.
Yeah, jump over one of the youngins, and then I do a cool slide through the legs of the one outside, and then I've got the core, and I'm just sprinting past him, and I'm like, let's book it.
Clem, you are up. What would you do?
Are you heading back to the car?
I'm going.
I probably asked you that in character. Are you heading back to the car?
I think your question is answered by me just keeping going.
I am going to can I put myself out and then run?
Yeah.
All right.
100%.
So I'm going to put myself out and then try to follow.
Valiant.
Valiant.
Yeah,
Valiant.
Valid.
Excellent. End of round. Every monster also have a closer. Closers activate at the end of every single round. This the Ember's closer is called the Haunting of the Burning. You feel Valiant like deceased spirits being burnt inside the fire, and it's granting you some bad mojo. You will
man.
gain misfortune on the next check you attempt. Because you are
Okay.
this only affects the people who are on fire, which you are.
Okay. Which I am. There is that.
All right. You guys are running. I'm going to see if it did not recharge its fire breath. So it will chase after you, but I will say that is its round.
Hey. And I'm still on fire.
Yes.
So I take how much damage?
1.
1. Okay. I imagine I put a little bit of distance, so I'm gonna take the turn to put myself not on fire anymore.
Okay, yeah, and then it would take enough time so basically Clem catches up with you, but you guys are still a bit ahead of the bear for right now.
Yep. So that's my turn. I guess I'm gonna pass off the core to Clem and be like, get going, I'll catch up.
I'm just gonna pick up Valiant.
Oh, that's fair.
Because you're 95 feet tall.
95.2.
Right. I forgot about that.
And then carry Valiant like a football as I like dart towards the car. I'm like, get the keys out.
It flashes over the car and I'm not there at all. Not there at all. It's just a bunch of woodland creatures just chilling and on the opened up like back seat, looking out at a smoldering, steaming, burnt area of wood. I think as y'all are running, like I think you probably stepped past me. Can I? I'm gonna attack. I'm gonna attack the what you call it, the Ember. But like what I would like to do is I see them running, I can hear the Ember coming. Before the Ember sees me, I would like to launch a mud balloon made out of shadow at where it's about to appear.
Oh, 100%. I'm assuming this is a alchemy check based at magic.
Yes, 100%.
All right. Yes, you can. So that will be a I will also say you probably had time while you were catching up with them. That would be an extra scene, so you could activate Snacker again if you had extra snacks.
That's wonderful. I love that.
And then make a resist. So make an alchemy check. Target number will be 4.
Okay. So that is 3 successes, but because of my Shadow Kitty, I also get, since this is an unseen attack, he has not seen me yet in this scene, I get an extra die. So that is 4 successes for this attack.
All right. 4 successes. That makes it a super success.
Yep. It also does an additional damage.
Yeah. So that will be 1, 2, 3 damage. So I think if this was a show, the music, the battle music would kind of crescendo. What's the finisher?
Mm-hmm.
How do you finish this off? Whatever finishing it off means to you.
Yeah, I think we see it like stick through, like the music intensifies. We see these two running away. We see the bushes rustling. We see the Ember like erupt its head out, like the leaves around it kind of burning away. as it roars loudly, and then a giant shadow water balloon splats into its face, and you can see it kind of cool and kind of quickly go from being embers to being like ashen wood and start to crumble down to the ground on the floor of the forest. And then you just see Starburst go meow and like run across the ashes real quick.
Awesome. And so you can now maybe a bit more leisurely make it to the car and then book it.
I think I put Valent in the driver's seat and then pick the car up.
I love it.
Great.
And we just scale up your back pant leg as you're walking away.
Yeah.
Watch us clamber up your backside.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking all the woodland creatures. I've got like hand knitted, like safety, like belts on. They're not attached to anything, but I make them all like put them on.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you.
And then you get back on the country roads, back to the village. The scarecrows are still arguing, bickering. Not important. What is, just out of my curiosity, because I love to hear this. After those fights and adventures, what is everyone's bones at?
Oh
Yeah.
I got a 2.
I got back up to 3. But I did hit 0 at one point.
We love to hear it.
I only got down to 6 because I dealt damage twice, so that pulled me back up.
That really helps.
Yeah.
So going down this country road, you get to the bakeries. You are back. Can I cook the yeast into bread now? The civilians are going to get ravenous if they can't get their bread soon.
And I just say, as I'm like chomping down on a nice fresh loaf that's just out of the oven.
Yeah. No, I think that would be a great idea. Making more bread.
Yeah. And remember, you got to service these things. You can't just let them go until they explode.
Right. You can't just let them
If you treat it right, it'll last you a lifetime.
Right.
Noted. So to fix oven, first you have to fix the structural damage of the base. And that could either be a lower check where you take tools and you fix things up, you screw them in, etc. Or you could just brute face it and be like, this looks like it's going here. Yeah.
Do you want to take care of the structural damage and I'll implant the core?
Yeah, I'll just take the structural I'll just take care of all the structural damage.
All right.
What's the difficulty?
What do you say?
What's the difficulty for using muscle on that structural damage?
That should be 5. You are just like trying to bend steel.
So that's gonna be 3.
That's perfect. You just get everything perfect. Now we need to install the core.
Okay, that'll be alchemy, so I'll take that.
You got it?
Yep, target number will be 4.
Beautiful. 3 successes.
All right. So you succeed, and then do you try, or do you make sure it works, or do you just leave?
Well, I mean, who's gonna fix an oven without trying it out first?
You got to make sure that first batch comes out good.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I hang out. I chill out while the batch bakes.
The oven turns on perfectly, doesn't explode. As you start cooking, as he starts baking, just like the smell of fresh bread, just like emits throughout the air. Might make some of you salivate a bit. Comes out fresh, perfect amount of perfect balance of soft and fluffiness, but baked done bread. And the baker said, "Thank you. I am in your debt," and gives you just a huge bag of bread, freshly baked.
Excellent.
Brilliant.
And then it's starting to get a bit late, so you probably return to the cottage. And that's a perfect way to wrap up this one shot.
Excellent.
Nice.
Love it.
Do we need a what are we doing while the credits roll scene?
Yes,
Yeah.
I would love that.
I mean,
Do you got one, Quinn?
I think probably obviously we can, if you guys aren't up for this, do something else, but I think it would be fun if the end credit scene is us all like eating sandwiches with the freshly baked bread, like while we're watching Shadow television at our dinner table. I think that's like if this was a TV show, that would be like the background while the credits are rolling.
I like that.
Yeah.
So argument out the show, and then after the second post credit scene is all of a sudden on a long winding country road next to a cornfield, a stake hits the dry earth as straw shatters over the ground, and then blackness takes over the screen. Oh no, what's happening with the scarecrows that we ignored? Obviously, they're going to storm the entire village. Awesome. Let's do our reaction roll. Reaction roll is a live stream inside of a live stream. It's our chance to sit down with the creator of a game we just played and talk about what it was like to play that game. Today we sat down to play Cottages and Cerberus, a cottage core cozy monster hunting game. And we didn't die, even though for a little while there I was pretty much like, man, it's gonna be a TPK in our little cottage core game. It was absolute blast.
That was
Chris,
rough, yeah.
Yeah, Chris was here running it for us. Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit more about Cottages and Cerberus?
Yes, I definitely can. Any questions also? Because I can talk lots about this. So a important thing about the feeling of it feels like a TPK. Yeah, it's very much designed to be actually a bit of a hard game. You can, especially if you really build your characters and min-max, you can beat most of the monsters. It is designed to be difficult. Otherwise, it's designed to force you to think creatively, force you to work as a team to get all of those boosts and bonuses. Very much it's kind of designed where getting more successes by boosting is better than each person doing that. So that's 100% the feeling I am going for.
Cool. Awesome. And you're going to be launching a Kickstarter. When is the Kickstarter coming?
The Kickstarter is launching September 6th.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Let's hear from some of our players what it was like for them and see what questions they have. Quinn, let's start with you. Why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, and what it was like to play Cottages and Cerberus?
Yeah, hi, I'm Quinn. I make games, and I've got a couple games up on my itch 200 proof.itch.io. And Cottage and Cerberus, it was really fun. So like one of my back burner whips is a Monster Hunter game. And so, I'm always interested to see what other people are doing with it, what other people are like taking from it. And what I really, really liked about this is the cottage part of it. And how well you combined those, right? Because like the Monster Hunter gameplay loop is you fight the monster to get the stuff to make weapon to go fight more monster. And that is a really great gameplay loop in a video game where you can have like something cosmetic, like a new weapon or a new piece of armor or a new like mechanical thing, like having a weapon that like works a little bit differently. That is a little bit more of an incentive in a video game. But here, having this cottage and having that freedom of being like, we're building the space together. Well, base building is one of my favorite things. And yeah, the combo of Animal Crossing and Monster Hunter worked very well. I like how they flow into each other. And I could see this working, it's great for a one shot. I can also see it working really well for like a very laid back Sunday campaign,
Mhm.
It's and the difficulty of it, I mean, it was definitely tense. And I think that you can get that tension because running out of spoons doesn't kill you. It's that classic thing where where it seems like lowering the stakes actually lets you raise them.
Yep.
So it's very well designed. It's very well balanced, and I really liked the art for the Ember. I really like the character sheet. This is I think this is really cool because it's sort of combining those two big strands of gaming, which like you have this like indie cozy cottage, let's all hang out together vibe, but then it's also got this crunchy combat, like it deals 5 damage to you and you can't do shit about it. And having both of those in the same game at the same time, really unique, really interesting. How to
Thank you. Everything about the design of the game is very much taking two things that are opposite and making them work. That's very much a design, because also this is a cozy game, but then you're going back to Lazy Sunday. There's a lot of ideals of just like trying to add grinding to TTRPGs and making it cozy, where it's just like low stakes. We're adding a like Stardew Valley style relationship system of you bake a pie, you give it to them, your affinity goes up, and I kind of very much a very cozy, laid back game comes from this very raw mechanical ideal.
Oh, love it. Awesome. Richard, how about you?
Hey, I'm Richard Ruane. I am the founder of Our Rook Studio and creator of Moonlight Roseville Beach, Sherwood, and Barrow Keep. And I really was thinking much the same thing, that I was really loving exactly how crunchy and difficult combat was. That it was not the kind of thing that you see in a lot of some very narrative forward games where you have a cool idea for monster hunting or combat, but then like it's all sort of kind of rote and simple when you actually get down to it. It's actually there's a lot of decision making. There's a lot of tactical decisions you've got to make about what you really want. Like we could have just stood there and had a slug out, because I had lots of spoons left and I'm recovering spoons the more we fight. But then, like, my friends have also got to get out of the forest, who are not regaining spoons every time they punch something. So don't start with quite as many spoons as I started with.
Did you have extra spoons?
I had extra spoons.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You min-maxer.
It's possible. I don't know. I did not look at everybody's spoon score before we started. But it's just, being sort of the tough character. It was tempting just to kind of stay in the fight, but then we had to make some decisions about like, what are we really here for? What are we trying to do? We're not trying to take on every ember in the woods. So, but also just a lot of like really cozy, light kind of mechanics around just hanging out, figuring out what's going on, getting missions, and this how much the setting, sort of both the setting and the mechanics really deliver that.
Yeah.
So,
did you have any questions you wanted to ask?
I am trying really just in addition to Animal Crossing, like what are other like media inspirations for you?
Oh, that's a great question. So there's definitely a lot from my partner, who is very much someone who became a gamer later in life. Watching her play games has been fascinating, because the way she approaches games is very different. So she very much focuses on kind of those cozier aspects. So we got that's the basic influences are Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing, Harvest Moon, then things like Monster Hunter, any game that really focuses. I try to model bosses on the monsters as a boss fight, because this is mainly a boss fighting TTRPG.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we got lots of influences from things like Kingdom Hearts, which have amazing boss fights. Then also some of the TV shows influences. There's an anime called Kuma Kuma Bear, which is a very cozy, like surprisingly cozy, innocent game show that I took a lot of inspiration from. One of the cozy callings was directly ripped from it. Then there is also Adventure Time is a huge influence, kind of some of the absurdist elements that I add into some of the plot hooks and random events.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Hello to Heck over in the chat. Also, good to see you here with us. This was also always good to have you along. We are just wrapping up our play of Cottages and Cerberus. You can go back and watch it. It's a cozy monster hunting RPG. Link is down below Quinn's face or in the description. So I had a blast playing also, too. I'll echo a lot of what everybody said. The extremes are really great. The slice of life pieces. I love the collaborative building of the cabin. We didn't get into it, but we did a little bit, but we did the Shadow TV upgrade. But the concept that you are also kind of building and creating your cabin as you play, modifying it, kind of very much taking hey, here's the things that we are getting on our adventures or doing between to expand and grow and do more in our own space, and kind of personalizing that, starting with that kind of headquarters feel and that slice of life vibe. I really like. It also lets you I love downtime moments for characters cinematically. It gives you a little bit of a sense of who they are, and starting with that lets you really kind of flex out on some of those pieces. But I think the dice pool approach runs really well. I think the target number stuff is really solid mechanically. As somebody who cut their teeth on GURPS, I love a crunchy character creation model that then at the table is just here's the thing you're going to do every time you make a roll. I'm going to give you a number. You're going to try to roll over that number on D6s and get this many successes. But the spoon mechanic, and when you and I were originally talking about this, you said it's got some spoon theory stuff in it. Immediately I think is a great hook. That the statement that you can do anything, but you can do a lot of things, but you can't do everything. I really love in play, and I love that resource management does that, but by using spoons as a centralized mechanic for health, emotional veracity, spell points, all the things you could break it up to in any other game, and kind of centralizing that as just your capacity for output and doing stuff, I think is a really enjoyable and simplified take on how a lot of this works, even though I did run out of spoons very quickly by doing some really cool stuff, but also then had to decide, okay, do I want to do that or not? And then as somebody whose favorite thing in almost any game I play is to find weird things, put them in my pockets. I love Monster Hunters type stuff. I love alchemy and weird magic stuff. I really love that you can be yeah, it's just magic cores and they have magic cores and the monsters drop them or, poop them out or whatever. But also that if you wanted to be more intentional about, hey, you need these elements from these creatures, go hunt them and find them. I love that you could get deep into that also too. And that in that hunting, you will invariably be I found a cool skull. I'm going to bring it back and hang it on my wall. Or we found some weird flowers. Or we passed some scarecrows in a field and totally blew them off, is also fun. But I think the thing there's also enough system mastery here, like you had talked about, that it matters. Not even in just character build and making sure you're filled out properly, but even learning how to navigate the lore thing. We probably should have and could have asked a lot more questions before we were let's go fight the M-Bears, right? We certainly probably could have, especially with how good of a lore roll I did. Once we know what to ask, start asking questions to let us actually do good prep. And good on you for having my Dark Lord be like, make sure you stay hydrated, because otherwise I think we would have gotten to the woods and been totally ruined. And so
there is an entire kind of system, or like remember, like I don't want to call it full system, but there's advice about monster research, because some of these fights are very hard with that if you go in blind.
Yeah. And even saying like, here the options of, here are the places you can get the stuff you need. Do you want to take one that sounds easier and maybe, or do you want to take one that sounds way harder and maybe be more rewarding? Do you want to research first and find out, like, that type of dialogue with the characters to get them playing? I think especially once people start to have that system mastery, lets players feel a real sense of satisfaction in long-term play beyond just leveling and character advancement. We were talking about this in the Discord the other day, like learning that kind of system mastery, even player skills, like that is a form of advancement in play that tends to be really, really satisfying also. So it's you can definitely see how that will play out in Cottages and Cerberus a whole lot. Cool. Any other questions? Anybody has chat? If you have any questions, go ahead and toss them out. And then Chris, when's that launch date one more time?
September 6th, so like 18 days from now.
And what is your funding goal? What are you hoping to raise for this?
The funding goal is I believe we're setting it at 9,000, but we have some really great stretch goals. I have been contacting some amazing writers who are doing some stretch goals content. So if we could get more like 20-ish, that would get most of that funded, which would be amazing. There's some really cool stuff planned.
Cool. Awesome. Well, that's all we got. We do have a couple great things coming up. I don't have any preview images ready for them, but as people may know, we had Take Flight with Keegan and that Kat was hosting with Keegan as the co-pilot and Angel Eyes Games as the host this last week. That was absolutely great. We had Adam Voss a couple of weeks before that, while most of us were at Gen Con. We are getting back into regular scheduled games next Saturday with Mikey. We are playing Slug Blaster, which I haven't even told anybody on the forum yet. Yeah, so everybody's going to want to play next week. We're going to play Slug Blaster, which is a much awarded game that's getting a reprint that we are super, super excited about, and very excited to do a kick flip over a quantum centipede next Saturday afternoon. A bunch of other great streams coming up on Fridays and Saturdays during the course of the next month. The Colts got some character streams coming up. And then Richard, you got a cool project coming up. What do you got coming up?
Let me get back to where I can see your face.
What else were you doing? How dare you?
I know. God damn it. I am launching a reprint Kickstarter for Moonlight on Roseville Beach. It will come with some hardbacks. And we're hoping to launch that in October, so that we'll be picking up right after Big Bad Con and hopefully overlapping with Metatopia on that reprint Kickstarter. And while that is going on, we will also be funding we'll also be slow funding some zines that are going to lay the groundwork for the next Roseville Beach book. Dim All the Lights is the next Roseville Beach book. And it will be the zines that we're launching in this fall will be character options and a fantastic book of entities that Nora Rose wrote. Instead of focusing on the monsters themselves, focusing on the monsters' victims, the victims of the entities that include an offshoot CIA project, some elder gods, a really creepy siren. There's all kinds of really great stuff in there. So
cool.
Awesome.
Awesome. And Quinn, if people want to find your work, where should they go?
So you can find my work at, again, 200proof.ik.io. That's 200 proof. I just got a Blue Sky, which I believe is also at 200 proof games. I always got stuff in the works, but right now, yeah, if you want to check out my most recent thing, that'll be any %.
Cool. And then we have been teasing it for a long time, but Zine Club is starting next month as far as you'll be able to start
exciting.
subscribing. So if you want to get cool new projects by emerging designers who we're going to be able to invest in more deeply because of your support, have a community you can talk about or play them with, then Zine Club is the thing for you. You'll get the games for cheaper before everybody else and on a regular basis. You can set up the subscription for as much or as little as you want. We've also got some really cool stuff that we'll be announcing over the course of the next few months with that, some partnerships with Possum Creek and other folks for some other releases we'll be doing along with Zine Club. But super excited about all that. But before you check out any of those things, go over to ttrpg.link/cottageks. Give Cottages and Cerberuses a follow. Until next time, we've never figured out a good way to end these streams, and at this point, we're not interested in trying. So until next time, we're just going to wave at the screen until I take us off air. Quinn, you weren't doing it.
Oh God.
I'm gonna put us back live. There we go. All right, now we're gonna go.